Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your season, happy birthday, and welcome to your reading. I made notes. We're going to start this year off different. Just don't want to forget anything that's important. So, the most important thing we have to talk about is that there is a solar eclipse in your sign on the 14th. Now, according to my notes, how do I put this? You have an image change coming up. I find that Sagittarians are very competitive, even when they don't realize they're being competitive. You don't have a mean streak. It's not vicious, but you like to win, even when winning isn't required. So for many of you, you're getting to the place where you're realizing that the race isn't worth winning, that you need something new to set as your goalpost, something new to aspire to. And that's going to require Two of Wands, you really breaking away, if you haven't already, from your security, from what you think makes you a winner. Because I know, it's just being like this. Let's just ignore it. Because what's coming up for you, the challenges that you face now, the success coming to you, requires a different you. And perhaps you just need a whole new something to compete against. And then we have Saturn and Jupiter moving into Aquarius on the 17th and the 19th respectively. Finally, the constraints on your money start to evaporate. Finally, you have your future in your own hands. You can shape your career, shape your image. Your success now depends solely on you being able to do what you want to do with what you've been given. No higher authority can any longer help you. There's no boss, there's no agency, there's no investor, there's nobody who has authority over you who can do anything to move your life along right now. You have to be the captain of this ship. I'm the captain now. So, Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords. For some of you, this is an air sign that you've been dealing with for quite some time. And I think you just want a little air. You know, some of you stuck through with the love deal in November and have decided by September that it's just not worth it. And that's okay. A lot of cards fell out. Page of Wands and the Chariot. So those of you who are in communication with a Cancer and you felt like it had stalled for a while, will notice that that Cancer is now being very amorous, wanting to reach out, wanting to talk. If you like them, go for it. But I don't like the idea of you being ghosted or not treated well, being given crumbs, being sad about it, and then having the person turn around and come back like nothing happened. I don't particularly appreciate that, and I don't like that for my friends. So I would say no to the Cancer, but of course it's your decision. Four of Swords, Page of Cups. Because you can redo your image, isn't it worth taking the time to really think about what it is that you want to be? Part of the drawback of being really competitive is that sometimes you're fighting for nothing. You don't even want to be that. You just don't want anyone to be better at it than you or have more of it than you. And I don't even mean like greedy. It's not mean-spirited. It's just misguided sometimes. Five of Wands, Page of Pentacles. And then there is the age-old concern and push and pull that has to do with money and career. So this image overhaul, bottom of the deck, this image overhaul is complete. It's in every way. It's in how you handle your love life. It's in how you handle your work life. It's the constraints that you have put on yourself trying to achieve certain things. And now you have this series of epiphanies throughout December where you're thinking, what have I been running in circles for? My career is starting to go really well, mashallah. I have so much more control in my hands. I have so much more time on my hands. Why do I have this incessant need to run the race? You know, pop astrology and psychology will tell you that your horse-like tendencies want to run and run and run. And in Chinese astrology, the sign of the horse is a hard worker and someone who just pushes through. But I think your season demands of you now a why. It's not enough just to run. It's not enough just to win. It's not enough to, feel the thrill of healthy competition, because it has no base, it has no meaning to you. So let me look at my notes again. I would have missed this, and I'm glad that I looked. From the 1st to the 20th, you have Mercury in your sign, which is the ruler of Gemini, and on November 30th, this video will already be out, you have a lunar eclipse across from you in that same sign. So the ruling planet of Gemini in your sign, December 1st to the 20th, Venus, December 15th, moves into your sign, and you have the sun there until the 21st. You have Aquarius, like I said, moving, Saturn and Jupiter moving into Aquarius on the 17th and the 19th. And all of this, when it comes together, is only asking you to be yourself. Now, the issue is, be yourself is very difficult when you've been running towards this imaginary goalpost that had nothing to do with you. When you succeed at things that aren't fulfilling, they don't give you more insight into you. It's not like you become satisfied or gratified because of accomplishments. It just doesn't work that way. They have to be special to you in some way. So in that way, career-wise, work-wise, you have in your 3rd house all of this activity now that puts your success, your money, squarely in your hands, not on your shoulders. It's not a burden. It's something you can mold. It's something you can direct with your true self. Anything else is going to ring false, right? So somewhere between being your true self, following 2 of Wands, that, brave instinct that you have to do the thing that others don't dare to do, somewhere between that and other people's needs, other people's wants, other people's commitments that they kind of force on you, between those, there's a seesaw going on all of December. And you would do well to choose yourself. I know. Last month I said, well, don't run away from your wins. Don't do this. You have to think about how it impacts other people, how it makes you feel. Yes, I realize that. And I'm not going back on that. It's just that you've had November to do that. And for some of you, it's not surprising that you've decided, yeah, I tried that and it's just not for me. I don't really want that. I thought I wanted it, but I don't. So here we are. And that's okay. Because if that's who you really are, that's what's going to come out. So for those of you who don't see this as a welcome change, for those of you who are reluctant, yeah, this is going to be super difficult, because the true you wants to come out no matter what. If you're in any way involved in being on camera or your voice, if you're podcasting, the truth is just going to come tripping out of your mouth. Your face is going to give you away. There's nowhere left for you to hide, even from yourself. You can be so masterful at hiding from others. That armor is very charming, and it creates this veneer, of likability, where people want to trust you, they want to like you, they want to shower you with affection. You don't rub people the wrong way. But that's not really you, right? So I'm not saying that the real you isn't all those things. It's not just those things, right? So this deeper layer that might be a bit, well, not so friendly, let's say. This deeper layer wants to come forward. It wants to take control of the reins, pardon the pun. And all you have to do is not get caught up in wanting to be like everybody else. Can I tell you a little secret? Every time you guys try to live up to what other people are doing and what other people expect, it's a horror show. It's blasphemous, because you're so talented and you're so creative in every aspect of your life. You have so much personality that it's painful to watch you try to squeeze yourself in to some ordinary mold. And I'm quite grateful that your own season disallows that you are forced in Sagittarius season to be the most you, now that you've tried to be like everybody else, now that you've tried to form relationships, perhaps because it was the normal thing to do. I don't know. What a wonderful time to realize that you're not normal and that you really don't want to be. That's what you get to by the end of the month. You go through this lunar eclipse in November, solar eclipse in December. And when the eclipses are on your axis, it really is a time of restructuring. So the you that you become now is so much more legitimate and so much truer to who you really are, that the opportunities that come to you because of it will surprise you. They'll shock you. Things that you've thought, well, gee, I always wanted to do that. Or I would have really loved to have had the opportunity to be around that person or take this sort of direction in life. You'll look back on December in a few years and think, yeah, that's where it started. That's where I really started doing what I wanted and not what I thought other people wanted me to do. Or, yes, now I'm succeeding on my own terms, not defining success by what the people around me feel successful about. It's deep, and it's in some ways, it's unpleasant. But the payoff, the business going really well, the money coming in, the kind of revamping of the image, the body, the look, it's not the surface kind of easy breezy Sag that we're used to. But like I said, that's never been you. That's just who you pretend to be. And we love you for it. But like I said, aren't you tired? It's exhausting. Holding it up for everybody else, it's tiring. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to want a different road for yourself. You're allowed to not be like everybody. Part of why you like to be like everybody is because you're not like everybody, so you play being like everybody better than them. You're good at playing ordinary because you're not. So how about we stop playing and we stop pretending and instead, yes, just get stuck in my lipstick. And instead, you really step out into the light and just watch how all the moths come. Not that there's ever been any sort of a shortage, but it's nice to be popular in your season. It's nice to be popular in general, but now it's a deluge and you deserve it. And if you think that there is someone in that vast array of people that you find suitable, keep it on the friendship level for a little while. Really, pull back on the sexuality. While you're restructuring the new you, the last thing you want is someone thinking they know you because now they're sleeping with you. People always make that mistake with Sages. They're like, no, I feel like I really know him. No, you just fucked him. You don't know. Sorry. It's just... Okay, do you see what I mean? So you don't want to be one of those Sages that someone's walking around out there in love with while you're in transit and you don't even know what you want yet and don't even know who you are at the moment, and they're falling in love with some version of you in their head that they've, fantasized and basically created. And then you're going to have to let them down and have that Sagittarius talk, which nobody wants to be a part of on either end. So spare yourself. Be friends. Push back against their advances a bit. And most certainly, do not let anyone control you. I'm looking at this air sign in this Cancer. Don't let anyone control you right now. That's a really, really big part of this. Don't let anyone's opinion of you be, the bit in your mouth. Like, how would you feel if the opinions of others actually were as debilitating to you physically as they can be emotionally? Would you ever care again what people thought if you could physically see what it does to you emotionally? If it crippled you, would you ever listen again? You wouldn't. So why should you? I like it. And I'm excited for you. Happy Sagittarius season. Happy holiday season. My love is with you. My prayers are with you. It's going to be good. I'm excited to meet the new you. I think you are too. Love you, love you. Let's look at these cards. Hi, Sag. Welcome to the second part of your reading. I feel like I actually already did the second part of your reading in that little conversation we had, but it is important for you to see the cards for yourself. I know there are a lot of you out there who are readers, who are empaths, intuitives. So you also, looking at the spread, get your own messages and come to your own conclusions. I think that's really important. So let me give you my take now, the day after. Two of Wands, Queen of Swords. There's some conversations that just don't need to be had. There are some confrontations and pretty icky conversations that just don't need to be had. So that's another interpretation of the Two of Wands, Queen of Swords. No need to go there. Now, if you have something going on with an air sign and they're going in one direction, you're going in the other, you got to let them know. And you got to let them know quickly, especially Page of Wands, the Chariot, if your career is taking you in a different direction. If you honestly cannot pull on with whatever relationship you manage to fall into and still pursue the life and the career that you want, you're going to have to make a decision. And I suggest you to choose yourself.
Because when it all comes crashing down, the only person you can rely on is you. If you don't choose yourself, if you don't invest in yourself, and if you insist on being around people who take it as a liability when you choose yourself, we know exactly how that's going to end up. Nine of Swords, Six of Pentacles. And we know because we've been there. We've been there. We've gotten over it. We've picked ourselves back up. And it has not been easy. This past month, I'd say even the past 6 months, has been emotionally pretty taxing, especially for you because you are everybody's strong friend. You know that. Four of Swords, Page of Cups. Rest, recuperate, pull back. If the love interests make a move, which they obviously will, I think it's a very good idea to keep things platonic at the moment. There's just too many other things going on, and there's too many things that you're learning about yourself, especially with that eclipse we have coming up. I mean, you've got the lunar eclipse on the 30th, the solar eclipse on the 14th. You are morphing. The last thing you need to do as you're changing is pull someone along with you through that evolution, especially because all they're going to do is get in the way. That's it. Especially Page of Pentacles if they're not good enough to begin with. So, as down to earth as you can be, I know you have a very strong sense of self, and I know you know how valuable and worthy you are. But it seems like even though you know that, you can over and over again choose to be around people who denigrate you, put you down, don't give you your due respect, or you put yourself around people who just simply are not at your level. And they may not denigrate you, but the imbalance is so painfully obvious that it starts to wear on both parties. Resentment builds. So, as haughty as it may sound, if you don't want people to end up resenting you, stop trying to mix in with people who are nowhere near where you are. It's a mistake. And you also need to keep in mind, Temperance, that your star is on the rise. You've got some incredibly beneficial transits happening. And all they do is bring you more and more success, more and more money. And actually, December marks, your freedom. A freedom financially, perhaps, socially, perhaps, that you haven't had in quite a while. So please don't put an albatross around your neck just because you like the feeling of being captured again. You don't want to be that horse that was in the corral so long that it forgot how to run free. Now this is an exercise. This is something you build back up to. These eclipses want to show you what you've forgotten, who you really are, and what's actually really important to you. And what you will find in this journey that the most important thing is being yourself. Now, peeling back the layers of what people need and want from you, what you have to show the people around you, peeling all that back to get to the real you is where those eclipses come in. And they, like I said, will not be pleasant. Of course, you can make them pleasant by being very accepting and open to whatever they show you, by not having an ego, by not competing with yourself. Oftentimes, Sagittarians don't hear their subconscious, they don't dream because they're in competition even with that part of themselves. They don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to be told what to do, even by your own subconscious. Well, that's all about to change. There's an enormous amount of humility in this reading. I don't know if you've noticed. But do you see how many pages are out? What I've learned is that the more humble a Sagittarian becomes, the more grit informs a Sagittarian's life, the truer they become to themselves, and they're a true joy to be around. Being real about who you are is probably the most addictive thing about you. And when you master it in your season, the amount of attention, the amount of love, the amount of money that will be thrown at you is ridiculous. And also a testament to how powerful your energy is when it's not filtered. Take it as a learning experience. Take it as a time to build yourself back up. Take it as a time to grab these opportunities and finally let go of these weird, strange situations that you get yourself into where you end up beholden to people who, like, you don't even know. I mean, you know them, but you don't really know them. Okay? Good stuff. Let's get into the extended right now. We're going to shuffle through for every card and clarify. If you are interested in these rings that I'm wearing, these are the Quietest Revolution rings. This is the company I started with my best friend Carolina. There is an Instagram link below where you can see RevFam wearing the rings, and then there's a link to buy if you would like. We are restocking the gold. This is the High Priestess and the Empress. We're restocking both in gold, but because of Corona delays, we've been set back a few months. I will definitely let you know when we have more sizes, but for now, we do have quite some sizes left, so check them out. Also, the Instant Extended and the Vimeo Extended are the same reading. So you can buy them on either platform. You can hit the instant extended link and pay through PayPal, and the reading will be sent to your inbox. Or you can log on to Vimeo and watch through there, which I think people like to do because then the video is always there. You can go back and watch it when you want. Sometimes when you order the link, you misplace it, etc. Not that I won't send it to you again, but it's just, it can be more convenient. If you are interested in a private reading, I do personal readings that are 7 to 10 minutes long and sent to you in your inbox through a platform called Cameo. That link is below. Also, video chat readings are done once a week on Tuesdays. There are only 4 slots available per week. And the past 2 weeks I've had to cancel because I had some stuff come up and I had to go to New York. So for those of you who are looking to rebook, I'm going to put up 2 extra dates, but I cannot guarantee how long they'll stay up. They have a tendency to sell out fast. Last but not least, if you are interested in a look at the daily astrological transits through the zodiac and how it affects your sign, check out on Instagram at The Quietest Revolution, where we do a daily horoscope, and become a part of the Rev Fam. We're fun. Come hang out with us. I love you lots. Let's get into this extended, huh?